All right, time for another Through the Omenpaths sealed. I'm probably just going to do maybe one or two more sealeds before I start jumping into draft, but like to do sealed at the beginning of the format, kind of get used to the cards and the mechanics and all that good stuff before going into the draft, especially with the new pick 2 format, trying to go into a draft like that where you don't know the cards very well and you have time limitations and all that stuff sort of sounds like a pain. Hard to imagine that we're going to improve on 2 Through the Omenpaths in our pool, but hopefully we can improve on 2 and 3 as far as the record goes. But let's go ahead and crack these open, see what we get. So only one mythic this time, and it's this Arachnomania. I don't know too much about this card. So the deal is when you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you copy it. So that seems like it's targeting Mayhem, right, as far as this set is concerned. If the copy is a permanent, it gains haste, and legend rule doesn't apply to spiders. So I feel like that card is just asking a lot, right? It's a 5-mana enchantment, and then you also have to be activating Mayhem on top of it in order to get anything out of it. So I don't know about that. This thing's okay, right? 1/1 reach death touch, so trades with anything, and you can also sack it to tutor up a spider hero, so that's neat. Trail of Teacups, I've seen this card get a decent amount of play. So what is it? It's a saga. You mill 5, deals damage. Okay, so bites from something that you milled, not just something you milled, something in your graveyard. Okay, give something +2/+2, and then get you a creature back from your graveyard, so that's obviously good. Let's take a look at the other green card. I haven't seen this one at all yet. 5/5. When it enters, one target loses all abilities and becomes a 4/4. Interesting. So 5/5 Trampler for 4 is just automatically good. And then it turns one of your small dudes into a 4/4, or takes some bomb of theirs and just turns it into a vanilla 4/4. All right, that seems like a good card. Let's see. Beginning event step. Reveal top card of their library. Oh, so it... Oh, equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. That's weird. So I was going to say it's, you know, it's a Dark Confidant, but not exactly. So what's the bit here? You play this and then put a bunch of expensive cards in your deck so that you get them, but they do a bunch of damage to your opponent. Interesting. So I have 2 of those. I don't know how good that is. So that's one of those symmetric effects, right? Where you play it and both you and your opponent get a card at your end step, but then your opponent gets to use the card first. And you've also put yourself down a card in playing it. So, you know, like I said, maybe the bit is there that you load your deck full of expensive things, and then you know, you can kind of burn your opponent out while also getting these expensive things in your hand for free. But that seems like a lot of work. This guy is sweet, right? So he banish or priest something that then gets returned to opponent's hand when he dies, not back into play, which is neat. And then also you get to take something out of your graveyard too that you get back when he dies, so that's neat. I feel like based on the card quality of our rares and in green and the lack of quality in the other colors, I feel like green is probably a color we're gonna end up playing, and so black white not seeming very likely, but we'll see. This card's pretty good. Makti, 2/2 flyer for 2 is fine on its own, and then artifacts and creatures opponents control come in tapped. And then this thing, so till end of turn, each creature attacks each combat and attacks a player other than you. Okay, so until your next turn, both of your creatures and their creatures have to attack, but then you, of course, you can just play it second main, and that doesn't happen. Second stage gives you 3 red, and then third stage just does 5 damage to an opponent. That doesn't seem insane. Doesn't seem bad, but it doesn't seem insane. Certainly doesn't seem like enough that I'm immediately going to look at my red cards and feel like I have to play them. Excuse me, sorry. So I'm very interested in playing green just based on the rares. Unfortunately, like looking at this, my green looks pretty shallow, but that's kind of how everything looks in this format because it's such a small set. You have so many duplicates. We do have 2 lurking lizards, which is okay. I like this Tunnel Web Explorer dude, the Archivist, also a good card. We have a lunge and these chariots, which I think seem okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw these green cards in and operate under the assumption that we are very likely playing green. Um, destroying a creature with so this card I think is pretty okay, right? It kills a creature with flying. It is a sorcery, not a instant, as I had to learn in my last sealed. But if there's no flying creatures for you to kill, you also get to mill 3 and bring a permanent from among those 3 back into your hand. So like it's not just sitting there as a dead card in your hand. So that's kind of cool. This is the one that, okay, cool. This is the one that puts a 1/1 on all of your creatures, and that's good. This is the thing that enters, draws a card, so if we can get any in web stuff going, it's obviously quite good. No in web from the green cards we threw in so far, but this thing is good too, right? If we end up in green-white, flying on your turn, and when it leaves you get a 1/1 back, so it's reasonable. This guy's really good though. The green-red 6/7 vigilant trample haste, and when he attacks, if you cast something with mana value 4 or greater this turn, so the turn he comes into play, guaranteed, you draw a card. So he replaces himself and attacks as a 6/7 trampler vigilance haste. That's pretty cool. Opulent Valet is a card that's reasonable, right? It's a 1/1 flyer that makes a 1/1. What does this guy do? When he enters, exile 1 card from a graveyard and your creature you control connives. Okay, this thing puts a basic on top of your library. Okay, so I'm sort of drawn to white right away because we do sort of have some in web synergies, although I don't see any. I see 1 card that says in web on it. What is this? At the beginning of your end step, if 2 or more creatures entered the battlefield, you draw a card and gain 2 life. Okay, so we have the I guess where did it go? Oh, the Opulent Ballet. I didn't click it in, right. So this triggers that on its own. We also have some number of small dudes, not a large number, but some number. Green white would also allow us to play Hoppy. Okay, so the pastry puts a 1/1 on something. This is the trick that gives 2/2 on flying, right? This is the dockside drone. Okay, this is okay. We like spectacular tactics, right? It kills something with power 4 or greater, or is a pretty decent trick, giving a 1/1 counter and hexproof. Okay, so this is the in-web dude. Oh, so we have 2 in-web dudes. Okay, this in-web dude seems good. This in-web dude seems okay. Oh, this Free Strider Aces is pretty good. It gives first strike and vigilance to something at beginning of combat on your turn. We've got the Oblivion Ring. Okay, our white definitely looks reasonable. Cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and click the good white cards in here. I don't do this for every color, but like these are, I'm definitely drawn to playing white green just based on what our pool looks like, and so I'm just sort of sticking those in there as a starting point. We would get to play Mokdi as well. Maybe this, I mean, it's double white in a white green deck, but of course I do want to do due diligence, right, and look at the other colors and see how those pools look. I don't have any idea what this does. Gets +1/1 menace, and this is symbiote, and you can cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. Okay, that's a card. We've got 2 scorpion stings, which is good. And I think I saw this thing as a removal spell too, right? Yeah, put a creature on the bottom of its owner library. This guy is just okay, right? Yeah, 3/3 death touch for 4, and at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died, a target creature you control connives. This is the guy that gives counters and death touch from graveyard. This is the Flash Flying Mayhem dude. We've got 2 of those, which seems reasonable. I don't think this card is amazing. If you mayhem it, you give your opponent's creatures -2/-2. And then these charms that were kind of wonky. And then this thing gets a villain back. Okay, so like our black's definitely not bad. This recursion is pretty solid and sealed, but what are we getting back? Like this, I guess. Okay, looking at blue, I like this card a lot. The fact that you can use it to counter or tap 2 creatures, just like having multiple modes there, especially on a counter spell, I think is very good. 1/1 flyer, when another villain enters, you put a 1/1 on this creature. Okay, so definitely have some synergy in the blue-black villain radius area, I don't know, whatever. Return a non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and if it's kicked, you draw a card. Okay, and then this is the dude that shrinks something or Until end of turn, target creature you control gets 3/4 flying and vigilance. So shrinks one of their dudes or makes one of your dudes better. We get 2 of those. 3 of this dude with flash that when it attacks it connives. The clone is whatever. This outsmart the amateur is also another pretty good card. Okay, and I like this dude as well. It can be an 8/8 hexproof if you have another villain, and 8 or more cards in your graveyard. And then the spider thing. So we definitely have the makings of like a good blue-black deck as well. We've got the Dimir land, which could help with that. Is it better, though, than this white-green version? Like, this format seems a little bit slower, and the question is something like this, does it have enough power to get it done, right? Like, if you just don't win early. I think it probably does. We've got some tricks, we've got some bigger dudes, we've got some value creatures, we've got some in web value. Okay, and red looks very shallow, right? The skittering kitten is whatever, that thing is whatever. What do these guys do? Okay, so if you play something 4 or greater, you exile the type card of your library and can play it. If it becomes tapped, you was that rummage, right? You discard and then draw. And then this is the 5/4 haste goblins. Okay, so our red's pretty lackluster, even though our red-green dual colored card there is pretty good. Okay. Oh, I was just looking at creatures. Right. Discard and then draw 2. Okay, the deal 4 is obviously good. And then we have the saga and the mythic that I'm not very impressed with. Okay, so I really think it comes down to either white-green or blue-black. Excuse me. Apologize, I've been fighting off a cold all week, so I will inevitably have some sort of coughing spell at some point, which I'll try to avoid. Okay, these lurking lizards are like okay in the deck, right? We've got 7 hits on them, but I don't think we need to play 2 of them. So that's the pretty easy cut. And we have 15 creatures, and we are just green-white creatures and put tokens on those creatures and hope that's enough to get it done. We've got Perilous Lunge and Oblivion Ring, and a couple of tricks for removal. We've got some in web value. These 2 in particular. Got this thing that trades for anything. I'm sure we have some spider heroes. I saw 1. We have 7 heroes? Good lord, really? Okay, so that's a spider hero. That's a spider hero. It's a human hero. That's a spider human hero. Even better. Okay, so plenty of spider heroes to tutor up with the Fate Weaver. Hopefully we can get some value with this Silken Throne. So, yeah, it's just like green-white, mid-rangey, value-y counters dot deck. Sure, let's go with it. Let's suggest some lands. 9/8 seems reasonable. And let's hop into a game. We fight Riverman CA. Okay. Alright, so we're on the play. We can play the Gallant Citizens. So we Fate Weaver into Gallant Citizen and just beat them down with 1/1s. Why not? Let's go for it. So hopefully Gallant Citizen can draw us another land. And then we can get like that Trail of Teacups out there and be in okay shape. See if they have a 1-drop. What are they thinking about? Shocking my Fate Weaver? I would not be shocked if they did that. Or Knife Trick. Okay, I'm not quite as sure about that play. When they're discarding, that rare land, okay. Alright, cool, so we drew Fine Woven Chariot. Oh, they have a Fate Weaver of their own, huh? I think I certainly offer up the trade rather than sit around and waiting on an in-web creature. Well, I was going to be very surprised if they took it. And then we'll go ahead and do this. Grab a land. It's any land? Okay. I don't know why I thought it had to be a forest. You pay green, and then you get any land. Alright, next turn we'll be able to make this Teacups thing, and we can kill their Fate Weaver with it. Creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So worst case scenario, we get to get our Fate Weaver back. Suspect. What does that even mean? I don't have any idea what Suspect is. Has Menace and can't block. Dear reader, I don't know if giving your 1/1 reach death touch creature the ability to not block is really the play you want to go for, but they didn't ask me. Alright, so the question is, do we even need to worry about killing that now, or do we just kill this? Whenever a creature you control with menace attacks, you create a treasure token. So deals damage equal to the... Okay, so it tells me on the card that it's 5. Okay, cool. So we're going to kill that. We can't crew that because that crews for 2. Right, next turn, we get to make that a 3/3. And then what are we looking to get back? Oh, we milled this Cobra thing? Okay. That seems okay. So we get the Cobra back and then turn our Gallant Citizen into a 4/4? I can get down with that. Okay. So we don't even really need to worry about webbing that, right? We'll just attack. I mean, we could have been webbed it had they, did something and we needed to... Oh, I'm silly. I could have been webbed it and then, you know, played it again to draw a card. But that's okay. That was certainly a misplay, but I will live with myself. Excuse me. We're going to get the Cobra back this turn. We're going to make that guy into a 4/4. This guy just can never block, right? Okay. So a 4/3, a 4/4. Okay. Had they attacked with the Reckless End Rider, I could have crewed up the Chariot and traded those off. That wouldn't have been too bad, I don't think. This thing costs 4, so we can keep up Spectacular Tactics or the Oblivion Ring. Excuse me. Alright, what you got for me? Oh, this is the thing that kills an enchantment or artifact, so... we go for the vehicle or... probably Trail of Teacups, right? If I were them. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's still, you know, not a bad deal for the home team, right? Okay, so that changes things a lot. We can play the Opulent Valet. Yeah, we'll play the Valet. I don't think I'm going to Oblivion Ring anything on their side. We're just going to attack with those two. They block, and trade off everything? Alright, I think we save our Tunnel Web Explorer then. And then we'll have a 5/4 and all these lovely 1/1s and an Oblivion Ring to their 1/1 Death Touch that can't block. But it can still tutor up a Spider Hero. Oh, I know the flip side of this thing is certainly not too bad. They got value, getting a mountain off of it. Okay, right. I don't think I Oblivion Ring it though, right? Because I'm attacking with a bunch of 1/1s, and if they want to block... Ah. Interesting. Oh, they killed my one big dude. You see, I don't know about blocking there either, right? Because they had the treasure to make... Yeah, they had access to all the mana they needed to flip this. Wait, no, they didn't. Sorry, they need white and blue. Okay. Alright, yeah, this is pretty face up, but I'll just go ahead and Spectacular Tactics the 1/1 if they block. Okay, so not webbing the Gallant whatever and drawing the extra card off of it was pretty bad, but fortunately our opponent's deck rather is not too good. So we are in okay shape anyway. Another target creature gains flying until end of turn. That's perfect. We'll give this flying, and now we don't have to O-ring the supportive parents. We can hang on to that. See if they play something a little bit worse. Discard a card and draw 2. Okay. the Cruel Caracals. So they can make that a 4/4, but not this upcoming turn. So if we O-ring the Supportive Parents, they either take 6 and go to 3 and be dead the next turn to the Flyers, or they trade off their Caracals for my 2/2. Oh, are they? I'm not sure. So they can tap these 2 for 1 mana, and they have the treasure, and they have a mountain open, so they do have access to 3 mana. I mean, unless they think this is like the 2-drop from last set, and, you know... Okay. Okay, gotcha. So they're in webbing. Alright. A sound plan. Yeah, so I guess I go ahead and just O-ring that, hit them for 6, and have them dead to the Flyers. Let's do this, grab an extra land, grab a forest and play it, and say go. Alright, they replay the Caracals, and what else do they have? A concession, maybe? Whoops, I meant to say good game. Oh well, they get the point. Alright, 1-0. So in that game, learned how in web... learned to pay attention to in web and when in webbing would be worth it, because set myself back a card there. Deck looked a little awkward there, right? So like I said, our opponent's deck wasn't fantastic, and kind of felt like we were just scraping by anyway, you know, attacking for a couple of 1/1s each turn. Okay, cool. So we got the dockside, the drone, this 2/2 flyer for 2 that makes a 1/1 when it leaves, and then the spectacular tactics. I'm reasonably happy with that draw. I don't like my opponents playing a Spidey fancier. Okay, them not doing anything after that's pretty good though. Okay, so we can in-web here and get a 4/3 out there. Or we play, or we just advance the board some more. Okay. I think we do this, right? So this ramps us, and we get the extra 1/1. Right. That's the whole bit within web. I shouldn't be thinking about it, right? That's a windmill slam. Alright, so they passed on 2 after playing Zora on 1. And they're passing on 3 as well. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm going to... I think attack with both, right? Because if they block the Explorer and they have some sort of trick, which, like, you know, okay. Oh, okay, well, we'll go ahead and do this. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and run out the more aggressive creature over the Gallant Citizen, because we have our feet firmly on the gas at this point, so... Both of them, which is dangerous. Put both feet on the gas. Bad idea. This puts a 1/1 on 2 creatures, right? But it is not a spider. Okay. Wait, it is a spider. Any creature you control, you gain 1, and if it's a spider, you put a 1/1. Got it. Alright, so if I attack with that and they double block, I only get to kill 1. That doesn't seem great. So let's start with this Gallant Citizen to draw a card. That's unfortunate. Okay. I don't think I offered the trade. I think I just get in there for 2. Play this dude. And they've slowed us down a little bit. Whenever it becomes tapped, you can discard and then draw. That stops my 2/2 flyer. Oh, sweet. So, this is a 5/5, and then I can turn something into a vanilla 4/4. Excuse me. So I could actually make this a 5/5 as well. And then, if they trade it off, I could kill the Principled Referee and then put its counter on Chennai and Hoppy. Oh wait, no, it would lose the counter thing, huh? Okay, so I just do it to the token and then just attack with a 4/4. The only other option is shrinking their this thingy, but I don't think that's the play. I think we do this, we make that into a 4/4, and we attack with both of these, willing to trade off some creatures at this point. Now, hopefully they don't have a trick, right? With the obviously with 2 mana up, trick would be kind of bad for us, but getting it out of their hand, okay. We probably actually just kill Zora here, right? You know, the 3/4 is not that scary. Zora is kind of annoying. Alright, we'll play a land and say go. I'm glad they didn't have anything there. Combat trick would be pretty ugly, but I think with the state of the board, we kind of want to start trading off creatures. And we'll do the same thing here. I'm going to attack with both of these. I mean, at this point, they have 3 cards in hand and didn't do anything with 6 mana, so, like, I'm, you know, seems likely that they have something. If they don't, though, I'll be happy to kill the Reach dude and get in for 4. Okay. I'll run out the Fate Weaver. I don't think there's any Wrath in the format, so I don't know if my opponent's stuck on a 3rd color. Okay. I'll take it. 2-0. All right, back at it now. 2-0, fighting a brick. Not the most exciting starting hand, right? With just double forest. If we draw a plains, though, our hand is, I think, reasonably good. And if we just draw a 3rd forest, then we can Vine Woven Chariot for a plains, so not the end of the world. A lot of Fate Weavers going around. All right, you can just rip the plains off the top. That works too. Hello to you too. So we have a Fate Weaver. We played against a Fate Weaver round 1, which our opponent made it so their Fate Weaver could not block, which I'm still not so sure about. And then we're playing against a Fate Weaver this round, but you know, smaller set. You're gonna see the same cards more often, I suppose. So Perilous Lunge is a fight, so we're not really in the market of fighting 1/1s, and this does not give Indestructible, gives Hexproof. Okay. +1/+1 and then fight, so I could fight their mana dude. I think that seems reasonable. Don't know what they're ramping, what they could ramp into, but killing their mana dude seems reasonable, and then trading this off for their Fate Weaver and getting a 1/1 out of the deal seems not too bad. Okay, yeah, no blocks from them. So we've got this thing. This thing seems good up to 1, so you can just play it as a 4 mana 5/5 Trampler. That looks... Is he drunk? Is the Cold Blood curse? I mean, cold-blooded because he's a lizard. It's funny because I know nothing about the paper card, so I also just know nothing about Spider-Man, so you know, that could be a reference to some Spider-Man thing, and it would mean nothing to me. All right, I'm just gonna keep attacking with this until they trade off their Fate Weaver for it. Yeah. Okay. So we can play the 5/5 and then make the token we just got a 4/4. Yeah, and then even if they have removal for the 5/5, we still have a 4/4. That seems okay. You know, I'm a little suspicious. They passed with 4 mana up, but then again, on last game, our opponent, yeah, just passed with 4 mana up and didn't do anything. Last game, our opponent did that on turns like 3, 4, and 5, so... Okay, yeah, this is still pretty good. Next turn we get to get a land off the Chariot and then play the Gallant Citizen. Oh, they had another play, eh? Waiting to see if they could unweb it. So this is not... Well, it's still a 2 mana 2/3 even if you don't unweb it. And then if you unweb it, you get a bunch of extra dudes. Cool. Seems like a reasonable card. Alright. So let's go ahead and do this. Auto pay. We will take a Plains. Play the Plains, play the Gallant Citizen. All right, sick. And now we've got a way to enweb back the gallant citizen. Okay, that's a stock worker drone. So 2x spectacular tactics to make the gallant citizen a 3-3 and eat one of their dudes, and then enweb it back to put it down to a 1-1. Yeah, I don't know about that. Put a 1-1 counter on it and then... Okay, so I don't know about trying to get value out of the gallant citizen with this enweb here, because it's going to be really hard to attack with it, right? So I think I'm just going to play this. Why will you not keep my planes open? I'm going to play this and then I'm going to crew the chariot with it and attack with the chariot and the 4-4. And then if they double block the 4-4, then we do some spectacular tactics with it. And then if they have a trick as well, that's a bit of a blowout, but... Okay, so they're trading that off, making that dude a 3-4, okay. Now, what would be nice is if they just slam a land and then play some giant creature that we can then kill with the spectacular tactics. That would put us in pretty good shape to close out the game, I'd say. Just passing again? Huh. Okay. If you're sure. Yeah. So it's okay to do this, right? Because then if they have some, like, pump spell for their cluster, then we can kill it with the tactics. Or if they have a kill spell for Darvel, then we just tactics it again in response, so... Oh, this is the fight spell. Yeah, no. I'm afraid that is illegal. Do they have something else? Oh boy. I don't know what... Oh, the one white you could do the +2/+2. Ooh. Right, and then it's the spider they gain 2 life as well. Okay, so I don't quite get the blowout there, right? Because they do still eat that dude, but... Still a 2-for-1, right? They used 2 combat tricks. They only killed this dude. Or no, not 2-for-1, because we played 2 spectacular tactics, so it's actually 2-for-3, but we got to put a counter on that. Okay, well, I will not be enwebbing my 5/5 token. Let's just get in there. Wow, did they have another trick? Path to Exile? I didn't even know that was in the set. Okay. Oh, is that like the bonus sheet for this set, I guess? I guess because the little crispiness in there. Do we wait? So I can't attack. Wait, what's happening? Oh, cancel. I can't attack with this anyway into their 3-4. So I think I just wait and see if I draw another creature so that I can play this and then another creature. This moves 1/1 counters around, right? Okay. You got it. Okay. That's a deal as well. Hey, a creature. Cool. So we'll do this. Do this. Oh, at beginning of end step. Okay. We'll give this First Strike and Vigilance. Attack. Excuse me, so we get to go ahead and play that, and then we'll get to gain 2 and draw a card. Trail of Teacups is a very good one. Hopefully we mill something big enough to kill that. Do we have anything that kills enchantments? We have the the sage, whatever the sage is. Yeah, so that would be a really good hit too. Being able to kill this. Okay. No blocks. Okay. All right, we go to 11, but we get to attack them down to 2. We don't have a lot of hits that do 6 damage. I don't know if we have any hits that do 6 damage, to be honest. 4 to target creature. That's a shame. All right. All right, we'll do that, and we can chump with the Gallant Citizen if we need to. Next turn we get +2/+2, and then the turn after there's the Selesnya Archivist, which would then get the Cold Blood King back. So, or alternatively, the thing that puts counters, or the flyer. We've got some options for what we get back. Oh, they've got one of those themselves. Interesting. Okay. Base power and toughness, so that can become a 7/7. All right. 1 white. So that gains them a life, right? They gain 2 life if they cast it on a spider. So, if their last, I don't know what else they can do to draw a card, but if their last card is a Lively Leap, then they can live. I'm just kind of banking that they, okay, they had priority there as well. Okay, so they probably have Lively Leap, right? I mean, yeah, because they've got one, but that's going to be their last card in hand. Okay, or not, or so they just missed it when they attacked. Okay. Banking on your opponent, either missing what's on board, or just pulling a leveling war bluff, but worked out. 3-0. All right. So 3-0 after some interesting play choices and deck building choices by our opponents so far. Hopefully we can keep it going. The Sarn of the Silken Throne going pretty well with the Opulent Valet, right? So how's this work? If you also, so this would be in addition, this is an additional cost. So this trigger would happen before you actually cast the creature you're in webbing with. So if I don't have something else in play, that counter just goes into the abyss, I believe. Opponent on the play and weighing their opening hands. They chose to keep. We have a keep as well. Pretty sure that interaction works the way I just said it did. Chances of being able to attack with a 2/2 on turn after their turn 3. Possibly slim to none, so it may not matter, but just thinking about the possibilities of webbing Sarn out on turn 3. And in web, it doesn't explicitly say that, but okay, yeah, you're casting the spell, so timing rules apply. You can also unweb this guy out. Perilous Lunge on the Crime Scene Instructor is certainly not bad. Alright, has flying. When it enters, search your library for an aura or equipment. What is this? 2/2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. All damage that would be dealt to you is... Ooh, wow. That is a magic card. Huh. So we can play the Chariot, get another land. Okay. I guess I offer the trade up here, even though I don't have anything to put a counter on. For starters. Let's see what they do with that information. Okay. And since that's what happened, we'll go ahead and in web, bring this back, put that in. Okay. So that trigger didn't even happen. Interesting. Since I didn't have anything to put the counters on, the game doesn't even show you the trigger. We do not have a land to play next turn, which is unfortunate, but I'm kind of banking on them not killing my stuff, and then I can play Opulent Ballet and gain 2 and draw a card off of that. Another Leyline Weaver, okay. Okay, we did draw land, which is good. So they have access to 3 mana. And they sort of... I don't know the format well enough. You know, it feels very intentional the way they tapped, right? Because they didn't have to, and I think I'm just not going to attack. I'm just going to play my Opulent Ballet, and I'm just going to take my card. Whoops. I just said I'm not going to attack. Thank you. Because I don't know what they're representing there, and I wanted to make sure I got value. Next turn, I might start attacking. They're going to suit something up with this, and I just have to hope that it's a smaller creature that I can Perilous Lunge. I mean, we can play the Tunnel Web dude. Excuse me. Okay, those both get to untap. Create a treasure token. Can't be blocked by more than 1. Okay, so looking like maybe they make it a 6/6. Oh, boy. Now they'll be able to make it a 7/7. So that's going to be tough, right? They make it a 7/7 and all damage I do gets redirected to the 7/7. Alright. But we can just Mothwing Shroud. I forgot I had the Oblivion Ring in my hand as well. Alright, so in the meantime, let's try not to die. So we can Perilous Lunge. There's a whole lot of things we can Perilous Lunge. Or... Okay, so if we attack with a Valet, right, then we get to in web, yeah, and play the Crime Scene Instructor, and then we get to gain 2 and draw, excuse me, a card. Oh, Jesus, these have reach. Duh, of course they have reach. Shh, don't tell them. Okay, whoops. All right, so speaking of some play errors, all right, so based on that, I don't think there's really any way to use that mistake to our advantage. So okay, we'll just go ahead and do this. Grab a land, play the Crime Scene Instructor, no second creature play, and we'll say go. So we have to Oblivion Ring this turn, whatever they put the aura on. We are in rough shape because they've made a bunch of big dudes, particularly with the web keepers here. I'm really, you know, annoyed with myself that I forgot they had reach. Because I get excited, right? Because the good line is to attack with the Valet and web that back and play the Investigator. And they are sandbagging that aura. Okay, okay. So depending on what they attack with, I am certainly in the market for trading some creatures off, maybe doing some double blocks. Alright, there we go. So that definitely gets in. Is that it? Alright, we'll crew this up. Hello, hello. So I plan on trading with the web keepers there and then just chumping the 5/5. We're going to go to 7. Next turn, we will Oblivion Ring the Bargain Spinner and lunge away one of these weavers. That'll leave me with a 4/5, staring down a 5/5 and a 3/3. They have something else that's not great. Excuse me. I guess the alternative is lunging the crime scene instructor into the weaver and then putting the counters on Sarn, so then this would be a 5/6 into their 3/3 and 5/5. That actually sounds better. Okay. Kind of hoping they don't play something else. They've held a lot of priority here. I don't know if they were distracted or if it was lag or if they really did have a decision. It's looking like they're about to lose their last time out, though. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to lunge the crime scene instructor rather into one of the leyline weavers. That's going to make this a 5/6, which is going to be pretty good against their remaining board, but if they have a removal spell or something, I'm just gonna be dead. No. I mean, depending on what we draw, but I really don't know what I could draw that would be a better play. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna do this. Doesn't necessarily ever feel good to win if your opponent disconnects, but we're not really in the best of shape this game, so okay, there it looks like they're mousing over things. All right, hopefully all right, cool. All right, so yeah, we're gonna lunge this. We're gonna fight one of those. So it seems like sort of an odd choice, right? When we could keep that alive and eat something with the Sarn, but I think making the Sarn a 5/6 and that's like really our only shot here. And again, if they have anything, we are dead. But as things stand, they cannot attack into my board. But they have 2 cards in hand, unlimited mana. Removal spell, I'm dead. If they just play something and crew this, I'm not dead. I go to 1. Okay. Okay, so feels like maybe they have some sort of trick here, or... No, okay. Spectacular tactics. That was a spectacular draw. This puts it in tapped. Okay. So that's kind of unfortunate because I would like to keep the spectacular tactics open. Huh. Man. This is really rough, right? Because I would like to be able to play 2 creatures next turn. Because gaining 2 and drawing a card would be huge. Maybe we just play this, put a land into play. We don't have spectacular tactics open, but we just bank on them going one more turn without finding something. We do also have another body in play now, so if they couldn't kill us last turn, it's hard to imagine they'll be able to kill us next turn. And if we can play 2 things next turn, then we'll be looking like we're in okay shape. Our opponent has gone back to filing their taxes in between actions, it seems like, maybe. The suspense, it's killing me. Okay. I don't really know how the timeout system works. I don't know how they got another timeout back so quickly, but we will not be attacking. Not this turn. Okay, because again, the thought process is if they couldn't kill me last turn, then I don't see how there's any draw that they have that kills me this turn. All right, that's quite good. Oh, we get free rider aces as well. So actually, yeah, I think we play those guys and the lurking lizards, and then we can. I think our Sarn is too valuable to us to attack with. Even making it a 5/6 first strike vigilance, like with us having spectacular tactics in hands, it's hard to imagine that they'd be able to do something that kills it. But I think I'm just gonna be safe and use that triggered ability on Zan and attack with Zan. All right, we're gonna go ahead and play the lizards as well, and now we can keep tactics up. So that was a really good draw. Its activated or triggered ability is a very good one with this board state, and then just being able to get 2 creatures out and keep spectacular tactics up is excuse me, well, it's spectacular. All right. We might even be able to get away with attacking with both, but I think I'm going to play cautiously for just one more turn. Next turn, I'll be a little more bold with my attacks, I think. Going up to 6 and getting the extra card will make me feel a little bit safer. Okay. Target legendary gets menace. Ooh, all right. That could certainly steal a win in the right situation. Okay. Oh, and that gives menace. So, all right. So that kind of makes me wonder if they were... Maybe that's what they drew last turn, and had I attacked, I would have been dead. So as things stand, we are only playing 1 creature. But we are going to have... We'll give this guy vigilance, we'll attack with these 2, and we'll end up with 4 blockers, because we'll play this as well. I guess we could give Sarn flying? Excuse me. Just in case. Okay, buddy. Cue the Jeopardy theme song. It's a little silly. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, maybe this is some sort of connection issue, but it seemed to get exasperated when the game started turning in our favor. They definitely played with a little more briskness when that wasn't the case. Okay, so we don't... Any way we sneak in lethal here? I mean, I guess I could have been doing the math, right? While our opponent was tanking forever. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so we'll do this. I think I'm just going to keep back the 4 blocker option. I don't think I'm playing the Bind Woven Chariot either. I think we're going to keep Spectacular Tactics open as an option. So I'll give Sarn flying. We'll give Zan first strike and... Okay. Does that change things? Give Sarn flying? No. Doesn't really change things. It kind of means they're committing to blocking, right? So 10, 14. I mean, yeah. If we attacked with everything and they didn't block, we would have lethal if they had nothing, but I don't think we have to risk that. I think we just make the attack that I planned on making. Keep 3 blockers. Yeah, that's probably fine. 3 blockers on Spectacular Tactics. Get in for an extra 2 damage. Take them to 7. Seems reasonable. Alright, play the land, but not playing the chariot because I want to keep up the tactics. And hopefully this turn goes by a little bit more briskly. Good game. Okay, yeah, we were definitely behind there. But turned it around. Gaining 2 life and drawing extra cards here and there definitely helped. We drew some action. Seemed like our opponent drew a bunch of lands, and they did draw that one, the aura to give their creature menace, which would have been the win had we not played quite as cautiously. So that's good. All right, 4-0. Good start. All right, going into round 5, fighting against a mighty opponent. This deck definitely, first couple games didn't seem too impressive, but we're kind of getting it done with a 4-0 start. It's not too bad. So Gallant Citizen into Chariot, into some bigger dudes down the road is an okay game plan, I think. I mean, Citizen into Chariot means we don't have the power to man up the Chariot, but just sort of generating some card advantage, right? Gonna get a extra land off the Chariot, draw an extra card off the Gallant Citizen. I'm never gonna be upset to see that thing get cast without being enwebbed. Still, I think that card just is quite good though, right? Because even if you don't get to enweb it and you're just playing a 2/3 for 2, that's not the worst thing in the world. And then if you do get to enweb it and you get 2 2/1 spiders with reach out of the deal, now we're talking. All right, so we'll play the Free Strider Aces most likely this turn, and then we can crew up the Chariot depending on what they do here. Oh, and webbing back. All right. Well, that's certainly good. I don't think we change course here to play the Lurking Lizards. Oh, you know, I didn't even consider, so I'm not going to attack, because when they have 2 in-web creatures like this, so I was going to crew up the Chariot and attack, but when they have 2 in-web creatures like that, you can just sort of keep bouncing them back and forth. Wait a second, that costs 6 mana to in-web, never mind. Never mind, I should have stuck with plan A. That's okay. We're going to assume maybe they have some even scarier in-web creature that we are preventing them from using. Forgot this was a 6 mana in-web. But yeah, so if they can get in this loop where they can attack freely with these 2 back and forth, and in web one after another, that's would be quite a value engine. All right, this thing makes a treasure token. Can't be blocked by more than 1. Okay. Well, that is a fair trade as far as I'm concerned. So if we Oblivion Ring their thingy, we still get to play the Lurking Lizards. We get in for 3, which isn't that exciting, but they don't have anything to enweb in the cluster. Alright. I like the sounds of that. Will be the beatdown here. Oblivion Ringing their 4/4 is not the worst call, I don't think. Boom, take 3. All right, next turn we'll play this thing, so the lizards will get 2 counters. That'll go up to a 3/5, which is cool. Or we play the flyer first, Excuse me, so that we're putting an extra cow. What are you? Oh my god, that is so many white symbols. Okay, if damage would be dealt, prevent that damage and put that many 1/1 counters on it. Seems like maybe Oblivion Ringing, the other thing, was not. Had only I known. Wow, that is a magical card. All right, so what do? We play this dude. We are gonna give flying, I guess, to the lizards. We'll give them first strike and vigilance. Attack with that. Huh. Wow. That is quite a card. Okay, so we're gonna have to just take 5 for a turn or 2. And by that, of course, I mean take 6. This is a spider that does not have reach, so that's something good. They really can attack with both. Okay, yeah, because... well, assuming they don't have anything, which might be a tough sell. They don't have anything, double blocking is good for me. They do have something, double blocking as a blowout. This doesn't trample, right? I think I'm just going to chump. No. No, I'm just going to take it because we're going to play the web keepers, so we'll keep the citizen as becoming a 2/2. It went through combat there, like they did not have anything to hold up priority, so if that's the case, then I should have double blocked, but it was definitely hard to know that. So if they just play this as a 2/3, then we get to make this a 3/5 first strike vigilance, and we'll get to attack with both of these. That's 4 in the air, plus the 3/5. We're gonna... oh, jeez, okay. All right, then. That works too, I suppose. It's gonna be a tough race to win. I don't think it's an impossible race to win, but it is a tough race to win. Alright, so if we draw a land, like we did, we get to do both of these. So this is actually 4/6? Right, because it got 2. Question is, do we attack with the aces as well? So I think we do. And then if they double block the lizards, we just trade with the web keepers. That seems like the most likely thing they do. But I think, you know, just getting in for that extra bit of damage, even though the trade's not terribly good for me. Oh, wow, they didn't block anything? Okay. I like that. They obviously have to have a plan, right? Because now they're dead to the flyer, but I guess their plan is to just in-web. That doesn't have reach, and they didn't in-web it, so they didn't get the reach dudes, and this only has flying on their turn. Did they just make a little mistake? Okay, well, have to hope so, right? Okay, they made a mistake. All right, we'll take it. I still sort of had to think that out, right? Because they could have had the +2/+2 and flying trick, right? And so what would my attack have been? We give something first strike and vigilance. So I don't know. Like, attacking with anything on the ground is kind of bad because the Haven Skin guy. Yeah, so all right. Well, I will take I don't know how great of a shape we were in if our opponent hadn't made that error there, so I will certainly take it. And go up to 5-0. All right, not bad. All right, heading in at 5-0. The deck that I not necessarily thought was going to be a 5-0 kind of deck, matching up against Doopy. All right, this seems reasonable. We have Fate Weaver. We need to draw some lands, right? We need to draw 2 lands, but we Fate Weaver to keep ourselves from dying too much. So this is actually pretty neat, right? Because we can attack with the Fate Weaver, and then in actually, all right, new plan. I was gonna say we in-web in Darvel and then replay Fate Weaver, but I think I like playing the Citizen and hoping that maybe, oh wow, yes, so we do get to attack and in-web the Citizen back. This is good news. Good news for the home team. All right, yeah, we are doing it. And we get Darvel into play anyway. All right, so hopefully we hit a land off of this, or the next draw. We've got a couple of things going on. We've got teacups. We've got this thing to turn. No. Okay, what does this do when it enters? So this is 2 mana and puts a 1/1 on each of 2 creatures. Wow. So it's a 2/3 that puts a 1/1 on something else. Transform it. They would need red mana. It gets 4/3 first strike haste. 2 mana to put a counter on it. Good lord. Okay, well, we hope they don't get the opportunity to flip that. Meanwhile, so we can play Trail of Teacups and hope to hit something that can kill probably that, or we play this and turn the Gallant Citizen into a 4/4, but you know, they could block and they could double block, and I guess I probably trade for that. I think that's all fine. Yeah. So we'll turn the Gallant Citizen into a 4/4. We'll attack with the team, and we are okay with any amount of trades, killing, just doing damage to them. Okay, so they crew up. Trade there. Okay, and we get in for 5. That seems reasonable. Next turn, we probably teacups. Shouldn't be too difficult to hit something that kills the big scary thing. Okay, they've got filtering for that. Oh, this guy's terrifying. Oh, wow, yeah, now they get to get him for 5 per turn. Okay, alternatively, we put 1/1 counters on all of our creatures. And attack with what? Everything? Or we leave back. Okay, so now that they have that, I think we leave back the Fate Weaver to block Jenny and Hoppy. We'll get in there with those 2. So this is 6 mana, but this filter costs 1, so they don't. Oh, they had the mountain. Okay. Yikes. All right, so that's kind of scary, but okay, they're not doing it anyway. Ooh. So that has reach. We can't attack with the web keepers unless we played the pastry and then put a counter on it. And then if we drew a land, we could Trail of Teacups as well. Enter your creature card with mana 4 or more. So we can always get the king back. Okay, so we have a lot of choices here, but I think I like teacups to try to get something that kills this thing so they can't flip it. And again, I'm okay with trading off. Oh wait, they're at 1. I guess I probably should factor that into things. So if we attack with everything, right? They block there. Okay, if they don't have anything. All right, we just do that. Yeah, okay, I should have taken into account the fact that they were at 1. Now, if they have something here, I'm going to feel a little bit like a little annoyed with myself, but they basically need to have something to not die to the trample. Okay, and it looks like they are setting up for that to be the case. So we are going to lose... What are we losing? Okay. We do get to kill that. Alright, so that was not the greatest. But we do get to play the Archivist and get our Cold Blood King back and play this pastry. And say go. Okay, so if I thought a little bit more about the fact that they were only at 1, I'd probably teacups and aim to hit something. Okay, so they got that back. So if we draw a land, good. So we can put a counter on the Archivist and then jump it with the moons, and they basically have to chump. Oh, this has reach actually. Yeah, never mind. Well, having reach is just a little annoying. Alright, with that in mind then, let's go ahead and teacups. See what we hit. 4. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and kill Janai and Hoppy. Alright, and then I guess just say go. Or we attack with the Fate Weaver, and then it trades with the referee. Alright, so we're gonna give something +2/+2 and flying next turn. So we can have the Archivist become a 5/5 flyer. We'll jump it with this dude, give it +2/+2 from the trail. And then we'll also get another creature back when the teacups finishes off, so that'll probably be Diligent Webkeeper. So I think we're still in okay shape here. Oh wow, now this being a 5/5, that's not even good enough. Shoot. Okay, I hope they don't have something here, but I'm going to snap block that. Alright, well now we win. Right, because nothing has reach here. Okay. Yep, that is gonna be game. Alright, let's go ahead and do this just in case. Triple checking, nothing here has reach. Alright. Give that flying. I guess they could have the... Okay, I was gonna say they could have the spell that, you know, gives 2/2 and flying, but alright. Ooh. I think we might have been able to win that game a little bit earlier and a little bit less scary if that turn when they were at 1 and I just attacked with everything. If maybe we played teacups first and killed something, I don't know. But 6-0. Alright, at 6-0 going into what could hopefully maybe be the last game. We can just get a clean 7-0 sweep with this deck that I really didn't think was that great. That would be cool. This hand though, not very exciting. pretty light on action, but I don't know if it's quite mulligan worthy. We do get the pastry out turn 1. We'll play the so the question is, if we play the chariot, that does anything for us, because then the next turn, yeah, no, I think we go ahead and wait and get the value. We'll draw a card with the pastry, just use it as food. All right, we got the caracols. Okay, cool. And we're just gonna run out a vanilla 3 for 3 here. So we've got some options, right? I mean, if they're planning to just attack and pump the caracals, that's a-okay. No blocks. Okay, so they do have another play. So we can lunge something. We can get Sarn out there. Oh, a Darvel of your own, huh? And then you get to put the Carvels back. Cool. All right, well, I am willing to trade Darvel for Darvel. All right, and then let's get Sarn out there. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be kind of tough for us to play 2 creatures this turn, or any turn in the foreseeable future. And if they have a removal spell for Sarn, we are in fairly rough shape. If they don't, and we just get to run out this, what is it, Estli, then that'll be pretty good. Ah, I'm familiar with the King of the Cold Blood Curse. I have one of those of my own. Alright, yeah, so we're looking at taking 9 and going to 8. So we put them to 17. Alright, yeah, I think we have to lunge. Shoot, I don't remember if I played a land. I think I just drew these, right? So I didn't play land. Oh, wait, no. Did they miss the land drop? Ruh-roh. Last turn I played Sarn. Yeah, okay, so I did play land. Okay, cool. So I can't play the chariot, play land, and then lunge. So I think it's going to be lunge and then chariot. Because the alternative is playing this, giving this flying, and then next turn making them both 4/5s. That's just not even that good. Alright, I talked myself into it. Not lunging, which might be a mistake. We're taking 9, we're going to 8, but next turn we'll have the 2 4/5s and a 4/3, and we'll just leave everything back to block. And then our Perilous Lunge gets better because we can kill the King of the Cold Blood Curse. Oh, jeez. Alright. Okay, so just kidding. We're going to take 11 and go to 6. Yeah, so not lunging definitely got markedly worse when they play the principal referee there. Alright. We don't even really have... So if they don't do anything... These don't trample, right? Oh, that lost its ability. Okay. Alright, so I think we bank on them. Excuse me. We just hope they don't have anything, because if they have anything, I think we lose this game no matter what. So we block in a way that we hope they don't have anything. And if they don't, then we can be in okay shape. I mean... The fact that they're not slamming it, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, that's just overkill. Alright, good game. No full sweep for us. We kept a speculative hand there. And our opponent's deck was pretty good. Or I should say their draw was pretty good. We didn't really see much of their deck, but it's okay. I feel like some of these later games... we were bound to run into somebody with a nice looking deck eventually, right? Because we didn't really encounter too much resistance up till that point. Okay, so we've got the king, we've got opulent valet, we've got an O-ring. This tactics is a little awkward, so our hand's a little slow, but again, I don't think it's quite mulligan worthy. I'm gonna try not to start worrying about reverse sweeping myself already, right? 6 and 3 would not be the ending that we hope for, but we got a couple of chances to snag that 7th win here. So our opponent turn 1 Skittering Kitten. I think I called it Smoldering Kitten before, so Skittering Kitten. Should they start? Oh, they have to sacrifice. I thought it was just discard a card, but it's sacrifice it as well to draw a card. All right, well, let's get the Opulent Valet out there. This will stem the bleeding of the 1 damage per turn we are taking. Unfortunately, we are missing a second forest to play the king next turn, turning the 1/1 token into a 4/4, which would be very, very sweet. Something to be said maybe for just playing the Vinewoven Chariot instead. Okay, if they want to use the shock on that, that is certainly fine by me. Okay, no attacks from... Oh, wow. Sick. So we rip the forest. We get to slam this king. Turn our token into a 4/4. This card is really quite good. And I like the art. That is a funny looking little gecko lizard, whatever. Lizard villain. I don't think he's a villain. I think he's just misunderstood. Alright, so next turn we can play the Chariot and get a land and still have mana open for Spectacular Tactics, attack with both things, or we could Oblivion, if they play a big thing, we Oblivion Ring. Okay. They discarded a land there, right? So they weren't stuck on lands. Okay. They play something scary, we can Oblivion Ring and take them to 7. That is... that could be scary. I don't think I want to Oblivion Ring it. We'll just go ahead and see if they take this and go to 7. Okay. And then we'll play the Chariot. Draw a card. We'll have Spectacular Tactics up. Excuse me. And next turn we have Oblivion Ring. And, or I guess I should call it what it's called, right? Mothwing Shroud. And if we could draw a creature that we can crew up the Chariot with as well, that would be quite nice. Good chance they get to draw. Okay, they concede. We'll take it. There's our 7th win. So a little bump in the road there to go 7-1 instead of 7-0, but always happy to trophy. And especially so early in the format. Kind of went back and forth on, right, our build. Could have been blue-black or could have been white-green, and I didn't think, you know, I didn't think this was necessarily the strongest deck in the world, but it turns out if you draw like your best card, your best cards, I should say, we got the 3/4 jump something, the put 1/1 counters on all of our other creatures. This guy paired with 1/1 tokens to put like 9 power on the board turn 4. If you just do that every game, then you're in okay shape, right? Never actually activated Fate Weaver to tutor anything up, but okay, cool. Deck surprised me, and hopefully a sign of more things to come as we get deeper in this format. All right, catch you on the next one.